What's going on, everybody? David here, back with another video. So we're going to do a stimulus package update. We're going to listen to Mark Meadows, and I'm going to start doing some more of these videos. You guys are really liking the videos, so I'll do more videos. And basically what we'll do is we'll show the video, then we'll talk a little bit maybe while we're watching the video, and then at the end I'll give you my opinion, and then I want to know what your opinion is in the comment section. So that's how we'll work this. So before we get started, if you guys can do me a favor, please hit that like button. Also, please subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out videos. We do daily videos, and I haven't done a live stream in the last couple of weeks. I've been doing some other stuff on the weekend, but I do plan to get back to doing some more live streams. So just be prepared for that. All right. So we're going to go ahead and listen to Mark Meadows. Here we go.
Half second. Yeah.
The House Speaker, as you know, set this 48-hour deadline, she says, to jumpstart talks. She says she's hopeful about the prospect of a deal, but that it ultimately depends on the White House. What's your view?
Well, obviously, there's more than just the White House that's negotiating. The 48-hour deadline is certainly welcome by us. We thought that there should have been a 48-day deadline 48 days ago, and it's been really the Speaker that continues to be very rigid in her negotiation. It's her way or the highway. It's all or nothing. The American people don't understand that. Many of her Democrat colleagues don't understand that. And I can tell you the president has asked us to engage if she's willing to work in terms of some of the extreme policy initiatives that she's put forth and work on those issues. I think the Secretary and I have had a number of very fruitful discussions over the last several days that give us a hope that we might be able to reach some kind of an agreement in the next 48 hours.
All right. So, I mean, that sound okay. Now, I don't like, and both sides do this, Democrats and Republicans. As soon as you ask them a question, they always go to the other side and say it's their fault. And then now at the very end, he did kind of say, yeah, we're optimistic, or we're hopeful that something will transpire in this next 48 hours. So let's go ahead and continue.
Is the idea that Senate Republicans are going to jump on board with trillions of dollars in spending, something that they've been vocal in opposition to?
Yeah, the Senate Republicans have been very vocal in terms of their lack of support of a number that is even close to what the president has already supported at the $1.88 trillion range. I can tell you this, that there are some in the Senate that would support it. Whether there's enough votes to get to the 60 vote threshold, that's up to Leader McConnell. He has agreed that he's willing to go ahead and put forth the bill if we have.
All right, so this is important, and I kind of cut him off, but Mitch McConnell will bring it to the floor. So that's the most important thing. Now, whether they have the votes, they don't know, or they don't know yet. But when it comes down to it, if Mitch McConnell is willing to bring it to the floor, at least we can get a vote on it and see if we have the 60 votes that's needed to end the debate. Let's go ahead and continue.
A bipartisan agreement on the bill. He'll bring it to the floor and actually have a vote, and yet it's too early to tell.
Quick follow-up. How is the president personally courting these senators to spend that much? Is he appealing to them personally?
He hasn't been reaching out to individual senators because we haven't been close enough to actually look at the merits of the deal. We've made an offer. She's made really the same offer over and over again. She hasn't really even made counter offers. If you come inside the room and on those phone calls, she's been pretty much consistent with where she's been, which is either 2.2 or 2.4 trillion, depending on how you count the number. Obviously, we've increased our offer up to almost 1.9 trillion, and he's willing to give some additional money in terms of direct payments. He's willing to give some additional money in terms of PPP help to restaurants and hotels and small businesses.
Now, that's interesting. He said he's willing to give, talking about the president, willing to give some additional money for direct payments. Is that more direct payments, or is that the direct payments that they've already agreed upon? Because all sides have agreed on a stimulus check. So is this additional funding for direct payments? I don't know what he was saying there. But another thing I want to talk about, and you see that they've said that they've come up to 1.9 trillion. Now, you have to understand, and they're saying Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, they haven't moved anywhere. They haven't moved and they're pretty much staying at the 2.4, 2.2 trillion. He keeps saying 2.4, 2.2. We hear 2.2. That's what Nancy Pelosi's saying. I think they're trying to figure out the numbers, and they're saying, well, it's probably more like 2.4. I don't know. This is what the White House is saying. However, you have to understand they started at 3.4. So they've come down from 3.4 to 2.2. So they've come down $1.2 trillion. The Republicans have come up from 1 trillion to 1.9 trillion. So they've come up 900 billion. So when you really look at the numbers, the Democrats have come down more. And even if you want to argue, okay, well, it's 2.4 trillion instead of the 2.2 trillion, well, they've still come down a trillion. So when you're talking about they're not wanting to move, well, when you look at the numbers are they're about even, as long as they can get up to 2 trillion. If the Republicans can get up to 2 trillion, or if the White House can get up to 2 trillion, well, now that's right down the middle. And people, we've been saying this for a long time. Why don't they just go to 2 trillion, make a deal? But it looks like they're taking their time, and we'll see where it goes. President Trump is not helping the matter. We'll talk about that at the end. Okay.
And yet most of the differences are not in those two areas.
Mark, how confident are you might be able to reach a deal by Tuesday?
You know, we're working around the clock. I talked to the president, for over an hour yesterday about the stimulus package and what we might be able to come to an agreement on. If past his prologue, Nancy Pelosi is going to put out this 48-hour deadline. She's not going to move anymore, and she's not going to move at all. And so by saying anymore, I haven't seen real movement on her part. All we've been doing is trying to provide additional areas of relief where we could compromise. I think it's important for the American people to see that the President and Secretary Mnuchin and myself have not only made modifications, but made substantial modifications that come at the risk of jeopardizing Republican support in an effort to hopefully help the American people. And as we've done that, we've made an extremely good faith offer. Hopefully she'll recognize that and her colleagues will recognize that. Thanks.
All right. So that was the interview. Now, he said something really interesting at the end. He's saying that, the focus is to help the American people, even though it's a situation where it's going to hurt them because they're not going to get support from the Republican side, from some of the Republican senators. So that's very interesting to say, right? You're saying that you are going to do what it takes to help the American people, even if you have Republican senators that are not going to support it. Why are any senators, why are any politicians not wanting to support the American people? That is my question. So it was kind of interesting how he said that. But when it comes down to it, yes, we have Nancy Pelosi on one side, we have Senate Republicans on the other side, and we have the White House in the middle. And I keep saying this, we need to have Mitch McConnell sitting down in these negotiations because he knows what can get through the Senate. And that's going to be the thing that could kill this whole situation. Because if you get an agreement with the White House and the Democrats, that's fine. But if you can't get it through the Senate, it's not going anywhere. And so we really need to focus on Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell needs to be in that room. He needs to say, okay, these are the numbers that I have. I have 13 Republicans in the Senate. And if we get all the Democrats and plus the 2 independents, then we'll be able to move forward because we'll have the 60 votes. But if he doesn't have that, well, then it's not going to go anywhere. So that's going to be the key problem. So this is something we're kind of doing it backwards because you're going to get this agreement between the White House and the Democrats, but you're not going to know exactly what's going to happen in the Senate. You need to know that. You need to have that person in the room. You need to have that person out speaking to the American people and letting us know, okay, yes, this is how we're going to go about it. Now, Mark Meadows said that he's going to bring it to the floor. Mitch McConnell said he's going to bring it to the floor. Why isn't Mitch McConnell out telling us this is the plan? If the White House and the Democrats can get something signed, we will bring it to the floor. This is what I think we have as far as numbers. It just baffles my mind to just see how our government is just, the communication is not there. They're not even talking to each other. I mean, it's just crazy. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys that. I want to know what you guys think about it. So let me know what you think about Mark Meadows, his interview there, not really interview, but his press conference. I know it was a little hard to hear what the reporters were asking him, but a lot of the answers, he kind of posed the question in the answer. So hopefully that will help out. But let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.